Luxury living for some, very different lives for others in and around the Tower in 10 minutes. First on BBC One Northern Ireland, Nick Ross and Fiona Bruce with the Crimewatch update.
Hello, welcome to Crimewatch Update. My last time, so I'm really pleased to say that calls tonight have been really strong. Not least on our first case, that armed robbery at Rayleigh train station where Adam Mapleson risked his life to protect a security guard.
I could see out of the corner of my eye that no one was really doing anything. In those few seconds that I had to make a call on what to do, I took it upon myself to just go for it and try to help. Obviously, it didn't really all turn out how I would have hoped.
Adam was so courageous. We really wanted to crack this. You had, what, 20 calls? Giving names on this one.
25 names.
25 now?
Absolutely. And one in particular that looks rather tasty, but with a lot of work to do on it. It's early days yet.
So what you're going to have to do is really work through each of these 25 names, and obviously one's going to be prioritised.
Absolutely. And I'd like to re-emphasise the £25,000 reward. Keep the calls coming.
OK, thank you. Fiona.
In an unprovoked attack 12 weeks ago, Abdul Malik was shot in the face at close range. He was just 19. Against the odds, he pulled through, but he's been left blind.
They told me I'm blind and they had to remove my right eye, and I said, is there any hope in the other eye? They just said no.
Just tragic. This happened in Forest Gate in East London. We had a number of calls on this, but we still want more information. There were 4 Asian men in the car. Only one of them used the shotgun. Now, the answers almost certainly lie in the community. There will be people there who know. But what about the other 3 men in the car? If you come forward at the moment, you may be considered as a witness in this case. If you sit there and wait till the police come knocking on your door, you will almost certainly be among the accused. It's absolutely in your interest to call now.
Got some good stuff coming in on the faces, lots of sightings of all the guys nationwide and beyond, it seems. But just to give you a quick update, Bobby Spears, this one, number 5, wanted for conspiracy to murder. We thought he may be in Spain, and 3 callers, it looks like, certainly agree with that and have told us exactly where they think we can find him over there. Then we showed you Saeed Ahmed, number 6, here. He's wanted for that vicious assault in Plymouth where a woman had her face slashed. Lots of possible sightings of that fella. Somewhere we thought he may be and somewhere we did not. So the lines are still open. If you can help us with any of our cases, you know what you've got to do, get on the phone, give us a call.
Actually, rather disappointing on our next case. Last month, a fisherman found a young woman's body in the River Colne in Essex. The woman was identified as Helen Morn, and she'd been murdered.
It's like an empty gap in my life now, and I am going to miss her dreadfully.
I said it was rather disappointing, but actually we've had a really important call. We showed earlier on some CCTV of 2 men with a woman. We weren't sure if it was Helen, and one of them seemed to have a handbag. One of the men seemed to have a handbag. We've now been told that actually somebody tried to snatch Helen's handbag. This is a witness who knows Helen well, and actually kissed her earlier on in the evening. He's absolutely sure about what he saw rather. And we've also got some other calls just coming in at the moment. So actually this may not be as disappointing as it seemed earlier.
Tonight we're looking for this man, Leslie Finch. There he is. 9 months ago, one brave teenager plucked up enough courage to report him for what he'd done to her. Others then came forward.
My dream would be for him to get caught and have to pay for what he's done, and everyone to know that people can't trust him.
It feels like I'm going to be stuck with this for the rest of my life. And I'm still young, but it's always going to be there in my brain. I literally despise the man.
And we said in the programme it was really important that people didn't take the law into their own hands. They're horrified by what this man has done. You know, they need to call here, call the police. And you and your team have been searching for this man for a long time, but you've had good information tonight, haven't you?
Fiona, massive response. We've had over 40 calls. We even have officers checking out an address as a result of a call to the show tonight. We've had one call from a woman, though, who we want to call her to call back. Only she would know who she is. She's given us some information that only she would know. Please, can she call back? Officer really needs to speak to her. Les, Kevin, whatever he calls himself, we've got another name for him now. The net is closing in. He might as well just hand himself in.
Let's hope he does.
Yeah.
We showed you some appalling CCTV earlier of an assault in Witney where one of the victims was forced to beg while the attackers filmed it on a mobile phone. It was absolutely shocking. Well, we've had 3 names put forward there, and we're waiting for one caller to call back. If you're watching this, you know who you are. We need you to call back. This caller says he has real good reason to know one of those suspects. We also showed you an armed robbery in Congleton where a guy punched the employee after he already got the money. Well, we've had 2 names put forward for that guy too, so that's looking pretty good. Lines are still open if you can help with any of our cases.
Now remember Jim Sperring? You can't possibly have forgotten if you saw the programme earlier on, the family butcher who took on robbers when they tried to steal his takings. They ended up with a lot more than they bargained for. Amazing how he clung onto that car. This happened in Bromley in southeast London back in April. Several names have come forward, some with some very detailed information. None of the names coming up more than once, but nonetheless good information. Ex-partners, interestingly, calling in, police officers. Have a look at the CCTV again of the 2 men. It's so clear, I cannot believe. You have a look at that, and these men are going to be walking around free for that much longer.
In the small community of Dundonald in Northern Ireland, Charlie Steed was fairly well known, was certainly full of life at the grand old age of 92. We have pictures of him ice skating, but someone wanted him dead. Charlie was found murdered, perhaps with an axe, at his home. No signs of a break-in, no signs of a robbery. What was the motive? And Jeff, we're still not much further on a motive, but I think you're rather pleased with the number of calls you've got.
I'm indeed, Nick. We've had about 14 calls tonight. That's 14 new lines of inquiry. When we commenced our inquiry back in February, a lot of people in the community didn't really believe that Charlie had been murdered, and I think our actions tonight show that he had. We still are unclear of a murder or of the motive, but can I say to you that we have a definite line of inquiry in respect of our EFIT that we put out, and whilst I appreciate that's an elimination, it's an important line of inquiry.
That's really, really good news, sir. You look like you're actually getting somewhere with this at very long last. Thanks very much.
And amongst all the calls we've had tonight, a lot of people ringing to say how much they're going to miss Nick. Me too. You can find all tonight's cases on our website at bbc.co.uk/crimewatch.
If you've been the victim of a crime, the Victim Support Line is open. It's 0845 30 30 900.
And don't miss Crimewatch Solved on Wednesday, the 1st of August. 3 incredible cases involving sex, secret codes, and a bank robbery that turned out to be an inside job. And Crimewatch itself is back live on Monday, the 20th of August, from the production team and the detectives here. Thanks for all your calls.
Which brings us to the end of the show tonight, to the end of my time on Crimewatch. It has been a privilege. Thank you. And perhaps the last time that you will hear these words, don't have nightmares, do sleep well. Goodbye.
Good night.
Let's have some fun.
I know your game. I don't want any part of it.
Too bad. It's a good game.
Peace is no friend to men like us, men that thrive on blood and anarchy.
It's tiring work, I imagine. Killing people.
Rome continues Wednesday and Sunday at 9 on BBC Two.